Good morning. Well, time to plant the onions. Well, all right. Little nippy out this morning. This is the time of year where, during the day it's getting up to 60. It's really nice out. But in the mornings it's pretty cool out still. Now, you were here when I assume, when I started these onions. And I told you not to worry about them. They're planted kind of thick, but that's okay. So here's what you do. I busted out the peat pot. That can be part of the mulch. Swished them around in the water. And there you go. They'll separate right out for you. Now, these aren't real big. I would have liked to seen them get a little bigger. But that's okay. They're going to do fine. It's perfect weather. Like I say, we're having daytime highs of around 60. And I'm kind of sorting them out. And some of the little tiny ones I'm not going to worry about. Just toss them aside, put them on top of the mulch, they'll go away. Now, this is not complicated. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. Got them separated out. Pick out an onion. I'm going to trim off a little roots. You don't have to. And I'm going to trim off a little of the top. Okay? Nice little onion. Small hole. Just basically cover the roots. Snug him in. Man, that's the whole game. That is just the whole deal. You can just go down your row. Now, one guy that I've spent some time watching is the guy that did the Mittleider gardening method. Trying to think of the name and it's not coming to me right now. But one thing he did, I think is a great idea, is when he transplants, he gives them a little shot of pure nitrogen, just to help them get going good, just to make sure that thing gets started. So this be a good time if you've got a little bit of something you like to use for fertilizer, organic or not. You know me. If it's not, if you're an organic grower, that's great. Go for it. I don't have anything against it. But now the reason I'm trimming these today is that they got a little long, thin, and loopy. So I'm just getting rid of some of that loopy extra growth so that they can start putting out some new leaves and really go to town now. So that's really the whole thing. This is not brain surgery. But the main thing is, don't plant them real deep. Fold some mulch back around them when you're done. Water them in good. And stand back so they don't grow over top of you. Now, I've talked a lot about onions because I think onions are kind of an interesting thing to grow. Nothing else that you put in your garden is exactly like onions. And this bed's going to be onions on this side, and it's going to be green beans the rest of the bed. So that's kind of the plan thus far. I actually was going to put the onion row on the other side, but ended up with with my cold frame being in my way. So rather than try to move everything and disrupt it, I decided to go ahead and just put the onion raw on this side. It's not going to hurt anything. And green beans on the other. So, you know, after you plant your garden, you don't need to then be a slave to your plan. Do what you want to. If you have to change things around a little bit, change things around a little bit. Isn't going to hurt a thing. I'm going to break up another bunch so you can kind of see this. Just swish them around. This is just a pan of water, and let me tell you right now, it's kind of cold. And then they should, you know, start to lift out for you. There's a nice little onion plant. And like I said before, I think there's an advantage not only to grow on a kind that you know is the kind of onion you need for your area. I think that's a big one right there. If you've done any research on onions, that's pretty important. And you don't have to believe me. Lots of competent authority here to listen to on YouTube. M.I. Gardner does a good job explaining it, if you're into that one. But, you know, that's what we're doing today. I'm going to get these all done, and I'm working on the chicken tractor. So, let's take a little break from this. I'll show you what I got so far. Well, here's what I got so far. This is the box. This is the, don't pay attention to the mess. I've got tools and junk out all over the place. This is the box that's going to be the coop part of the chicken tractor. Spent most of the afternoon yesterday. Now, this side, you can see the hasp down there. This side swings open for cleaning. So that whole side will open up, and I put a hasp on it because, you know, predators, even in town, we get raccoons, we get groundhogs, we get all kinds of things. Neighbor dogs, this and that. And when I put them up at night, I want to make sure that I throw a padlock on there. There's no way anything's going to get in and disrupt those chickens. So that's what I got so far. I'm going to work again on it this afternoon. And right there is all my buckets. You know, all redone, ready to go. So when the chicken tractor's finished, that's the next thing. So let's get those buckets planted and get the carrots and onions or lettuce started. All right, thank you.